served in the military, could you please raise your hand? Thank you so much. My grandfather also served in World War I. He was a stretcher bearer in the trenches in France and Belgium. And he wouldn't talk about the fighting for the rest of his life. He talked about what they did to help each other through: the artwork, the writing, the letter writing. I don't think my grandfather ever purchased a piece of paper, because he would slit open the envelope that a letter came in, write his letter back on that and put it in an envelope for the rest of his life. And so that's my family's mementos, are those letters written on envelopes. There's something magical about that doesn't get conveyed in an email, no matter how many emojis you put in it. So I want to thank you, but I also want to thank community members who wrote in about this proclamation to talk about that Armistice Day was about peace. It was about the United States coming in and joining the war and ending what was supposed to be the Great War that was going to end all wars. And I remember my grandfather did say over and over, we were just hanging on until the Americans came in, because we knew that when the Americans came, we would win. And it was the same in World War II, that the rest of the world was hanging in there until America came in. So thank you. And thank you for bringing up that we are greatly at risk for having that all shattered. I was really impressed last night, not only with how many women and people of colour that were elected, but how many of those women and people of colour are also military vets. We have helicopter pilots and others, and MJ Hagar, who wrote Shoot Like a Girl, which is actually a complimentary book. MJ Hagar narrowly lost her race in Texas, but she was the one who took it to the Supreme Court to allow women to be in combat roles. And so we are making progress even when we think we aren't. And public service, military service, it's about serving our communities, it's about trying to make things better. And I just so appreciate that, and I also appreciate remembering that the 100th anniversary is actually about peace, which I can't imagine anybody would be happier about peace than somebody who's actively serving and veterans who can now stop fighting and serve peacefully and go back to their families safe and sound. So thank you.
Very good. I just have a couple of brief comments. First of all, I just want to say our country is obviously indebted to veterans for their quiet courage. Their selfless sacrifice continues to inspire us today as we work to advance peace. We're continually grateful for the freedoms we enjoy in Portland and all across the United States, thanks in large measure to the very personal sacrifices many veterans have made. On this and every day, veterans deserve not only our thanks, but they deserve something more than platitudes. They deserve our respect, and they deserve our support in a very tangible way. As Commissioner Fritz just said very eloquently, veterans are probably the best advocates for peace in our country. Just this morning, I received, and I think my colleagues probably received, an email from a constituent, a gentleman by the name of Daniel Shea, an organization called Veterans for Peace. And he wanted us to remember, and wanted me to remind you, as Commissioner Fritz just did, that the original purpose of Veterans Day was to celebrate peace. And as she correctly pointed out, it was started after Armistice Day, and the whole point was that the First World War would be the last war, would be the war to end all wars. And of course, that has not come to pass. But it is important that we remember that Veterans Day, at its core, it's about peace. And the veterans are the ones who work harder than everybody else to make sure that that is the case. And I want to thank you for that. I'd also like to take a moment to appreciate the 243 military members and veterans who work for the city of Portland. They honor us with their dignity, their courage, and their valor every single day, no matter what they do for the city of Portland, and that includes